Hello, today we are going to discuss the question paper GPET 2010. We have discussed previously some questions that is asked in GPET 2010. Today I am going to discuss the rest questions that is asked in GPET 2010. In previous video you can also find, you can also learn, you can also listen questions 1 to 60, or you can say 60 questions that we have discussed in very elaborate way. And these are the very important questions and that is asked in GPET examinations, and that are important questions, and we will discuss them here in detail with their other options also and their other important things also that are important. So let us start with the 61 question that is asked in GPET 2010. Digitalis toxicity is enhanced by co-administration of. What do you mean by this? It means that which drug or which chemical entity can enhance the digitalis toxicity. As you know, in the digitalis toxicity, what happened? The side effect of hypokalemia. Hypokalemia, it means deficiency of the potassium into the blood, into the body. That is called hypokalemia. So if we are co-administer the potassium, first option the potassium, then there is no any toxicity. Means deficiency can be overcome. So that is important, but that is a better. It's advisable that when that is digitalis is given to the patient, then we have to take potassium supplement also. Option second is quinidine. Quinidine, is anti-arrhythmic drug. It is anti-arrhythmic drug, and it's the quinine. It's a quinine alkaloids, cinchona alkaloids. Quinine is used as antimalarial, but quinidine, it's a isomer form of the quinine. It is used as a anti-arrhythmic drug. Next, diuretics. Diuretics are the drugs which can used to increase the urine volume. So it means urine volume can be enhanced by taking the diuretics. So there is no any relations with urine volume and digitalis. The fourth D option is the antacids. So the antacids, they can change the acidity of stomach. So digitalis, there is no any effect on the antacid also. So the correct options here that can enhance the toxicity can be enhanced by only, you can say, one drug that we can use here, that is quinidine, because quinidine that can enhance the toxicity by, important thing is that it prevent toxicity. Quinidine prevent renal secretions of the distalis. So the renal secretions will be decreased. So what will happen? It means that that blood level concentrations of distalis that can be increased by the quinidine. So the correct options for distalis toxicity can be enhanced by the quinidine, and the quinidine is, we're going to say, by preventing the renal secretions of the distalis, it will be enhanced. The correct options would be, correct option for 61 question is quinidine. Next we are moving to next questions, that is 62. The rate limiting steps in cholesterol biosynthesis, one of the following. So the cholesterol biosynthesis that is takes place, that is started with starting molecule, that acetylcholine, and acetylcholine, that is by taking the various steps, it will be converted finally into the cholesterol. And the rate limiting step means which step that can be important, that can prevent the cholesterol synthesis. That step is, look at option number 1, LDL receptor concentrations. So there is no any relationship with the cholesterol. Option B, VLDL secretions. VLDL no any relation with cholesterol. And D option is coenzyme A formations. So coenzyme A is not responsible for this, because it will be enhance the cholesterol biosynthesis. Rate limiting step would be the mevalonic acid formations, because mevalonic acid that is formed, and HMG coenzyme HMG synthetase, that is statin, that inhibit it, and this mevalonic acid formations that can be rate limiting step for the cholesterol biosynthesis in our body. Next, question number 63. Which one of the following is a withdrawal from the market due to the torsade D points? Torsade D points is a side effect. So which drug shows the side effect torsade D points? Option A is chlorpromazine, option B is estimazole, option C is haloperidol, option D is domperidol. So look at here one by one. Chlorpromazine, it's a antipsychotic drug, and it does not have any types of torsade point side effects. Option C is haloperidol, it does not have. Option D is domperidol. Domperidol, and chlorpromazine, the psychotic drug, it does not have any these types of side effect. Only one, estimazole, that is a H1 antagonist. So it has the torsade point side effects. So correct option would be the B. Question number 64. Gensivir is mainly used for treatment of the following infection. Gensivir, we know, gencyclovir, is derivative of the acyclovir. Acyclovir is antiviral drug, herpes category antiviral drug. So look at here, as I have told you, this gencyclovir, acyclovir, the herpes the herpes virus. So only the option 1 is cytomegalovirus. Option B is candidiasis. Candidiasis is the candidiasis is the fungi. Option C is herpes zoster virus. Option D is hepatitis B virus. So the option 1 C directly is a correct option. Herpes zoster virus. I have told you that acyclovir, gencyclovir It's a derivative of acyclovir. It's a herpes zoster virus. Question number 65 now. Identify one rational combinations which has clinical benefits. Rational communication means combinations. What we have to identify? We have to identify that the combination of drug which would be beneficial, which will be beneficial, clinical beneficial benefits. First option, the first combination is norfloxacin and metronidazole. Norfloxacin and metronidazole. As you know, the norfloxacin is quinolone antibiotics, antibacterials. Metronidazole is antiamoebics. So there is no any relations between norfloxacin and metronidazole. Alprazolam and paracetamol. Alprazolam is psychotic drug, and paracetamol is the painkiller or can say NSAIDs. No any relation. Option C is cisapride and omeprazole. Cisapride and omeprazole is proton pump inhibitor. Cisapride, that is a ulcer healing drug, you can say. So there is no any combinations. But option D is the amoxicillin and clavulanic acids. They have the beneficial effect because amoxicillin is a antibiotic, beta lactam antibiotic, penicillin derivative, and amoxicillin can be inhibited by beta lactamase. That is one major, you can say, drug limitations, that amoxicillin may not be effective. So, and another combination, another drug is that is the clavulanic acid. The clavulanic acid is a beta lactamase inhibitor. So what happen when we are giving both drug in combination? Then the combination drug will be effective because clavulanic acid will inhibit the beta lactamase enzyme and amoxicillin will produce their action as antibacterial or antibiotic action. So in the market the amoxicillin and clavulanic acids, it's available in the combinations. That's why it is a very effective rational combination for clinical use. Next question is here, that Steven Johnson syndrome is the most common side effect associated with the one of the following category. So Steven Johnson syndrome is a side effect that is associated with, tell me which one. Of first option is sulfonamides, macrolide antibiotics, section B. Option C is penicillins, and option D is the tetracycline. So as we know, the Steven Johnson syndrome is a side effect of the sulfonamides. This is a sulfonamide category of drug. So direct questions from the pharmacology. Question number 67. Look at here, 67. Amitriptyline is synthesized from the following starting material. So amitriptyline is synthesized from which of the following starting material? Let us see. Option A is phthalic anhydride. Option B is terephthalic acid. Option C is thelamic acid. Option D is thelamidione. So the correct option would be the terephthalic acid. Terephthalic acid is starting material for amitriptyline. Dear students, amitriptyline is the category of, you can say, tricyclic antidepressant. So the amitriptyline, that is can be synthesized from terephthalic acid. Question number 68. The common structural feature among three category of anticonvulsant drug: barbiturates, sulfonamides, and hydantoin. So what do you mean? This anticonvulsant drug, barbiturates, sulfonamides, and hydantoin, like phenytoin. Hydantoin is the phenytoin category drug. So in three category of drug, what is the common structural features? Means which structural part is the common? So as we know that in the chemistry, that uride. First option is uride. Second option is imidazolidine dione. Third C option is dihydropyrimidine. D option is tetrahydropyridine. Pyrimidine. So the correct option would be the option A, uride, because uride is a common feature that is present in the all these three category of drug is a commonly. So the correct option would be the uride. As you know, the barbiturates, phenobarbital, meflobarbital, they are a category of drug. Succinamides, ethosuccinamide, methosuccinamides, and hydantoin, the phenytoin, which is a category of drug, and all these three category of drug is used in anticonvulsants as a convulsant in treatment of the convulsant epilepsy. So this I think the correct option for 68 question is uride. Uride is the common structure feature for all these three category of drug. Now the question number 69. Nicotinic acid of acetylcholine is blocked by the drug. What do you mean by? You look at here the nicotinic acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is a neurotransmitter and it is cholinergic neurotransmitter. As you know, in our peripheral system, there are the two peripheral system we can divide in two parts: cholinergic and anticholinergic, cholinergic and adrenergic, means sympathetic or parasympathetic. Cholinergic the parasympathetic and sympathetic that is the adrenergic. So sympathetic or parasympathetic nervous system means cholinergic nervous system. Nervous system secretes acetylcholine as a neurotransmitter at the nerve ending. So look at here, the acetylcholine is we can say cholinergic nervous system can say neurotransmitter, and it can shows two types of action. One is the muscarinic action after the binding with the muscarinic receptor. Another is nicotinic action after binding on the nicotinic receptors. And you know, a nicotinic receptors that is present on the junctions of neuron and muscle junction. So the nicotinic receptors of the acetylcholine can be blocked by skeletal muscles relaxant drugs. I think you might understood the meaning of this, because skeletal muscles and there is a junction between the skeletal muscles and you can say cholinergic receptors, cholinergic neurons. So we have to find out here the what options that is that can be effective in you can say smooth muscle relaxant. The first option is the atropine. So atropine is the anticholinergic drug. Second option is carvedilol. Carvedilol is again is a beta blocker, adrenergic receptor. And C is the neostigmine. Neostigmine, it's a physostigmine and neostigmine. They are the cholinesterase inhibitors. And D is the D-tuberculin. Yes, the correct option would be the D. D-tuberculin. D-tuberculin is the muscle selection, skeletal muscle relaxants. D-tuberculin. Okay. The correct option for 69 is the D-tuberculin. Let's move to the 70 question number 70. The chemical nature of the procaine is, you know, procaine is the category of local anesthetic drug, and procaine that we know it's a ester of, we can say, PABA, para-aminobenzoic acid or 4-aminobenzoic acid. So look at here the first option, 2-diethyl amino ethyl 4-aminobenzoate, and option B, N-diethyl 4-aminobenzoate. Option C, N-4-amino benzamidoethyl amine, and 4 is the D is the 4-amino 2-diethyl amino ethyl benzoate. So look at here, students. Option A and option D both are the correct option for this, because the both IPC name is the for some same structure, that benzoic acid at the benzoate or benzoic acid, the ethyl ester and it 4 para position amino group PABA derivative. So amino diethyl amino derivative of the PABA, that is the procaine. So we can see that both are the correct answer for the nomenclature of procaine. Next, move to the 71 questions. Barbiturates which substitute at the following positions possess acceptable hypnotic activity. So means for hypnotic, sedative and hypnotic activity in the barbiturates, barbituric acid, where the substitution may take place, that would be suitable. Option A is the 1,3 di substitution, option B is the 5,5 di substitution, option C is the 1,5 di substitution, and option D is the 3,3 di substitution diterpenoids. So the correct option would be the option B, 5,5 di substitution. The phenytoin, there is the 5,5 diphenyl substitutions, 5,5 diphenyl barbituric acid, the application name for the phenytoin. So this is the correct option, that 5 positions, the diphenyl, like diphenyl, phenyl, ethyl, phenyl, ethyl. Accordingly, the substitution at position number 5, that would be more acceptable and give the more sedative hypnotic activity. So the correct option would be the B for 71. Next, move to 72. 72 question is the selective serotonin uptake inhibitor. So we have to find out which is the selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. We have discussed in antidepressant category of drug. That antidepressant drugs, some drugs, they are selectively serotonin reuptake inhibitors. So we have to find out some are miscellaneous type of serotonin receptor inhibitors. So we have to find out here the pure one, selective one. So first option is the imipramine. There is no any serotonin reuptake inhibitor. Second option is B. Option is iproniazide. Option C is fluoxetine. Option D is nefajolin. So as you know, nefajolin is a nasal decongestant drug, not the serotonin. Imipramine is a you can say tricyclic antidepressant drug. It's note here. And iproniazide is you can say not belongs to the serotonin reuptake inhibitors. So the correct option would be the C. Fluoxetine is the selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. Next, question number 73. So for the 72, the correct option would be the C. Fluoxetine would be the selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. It's clear. Now we are moving to 73. Proton pump inhibitors like omeprazole and lansoprazole contain the following rings. The proton pump inhibitors are drugs which are used in treatment of the peptic ulcer, and the examples of the omeprazole and lansoprazole. So lansoprazole and omeprazole contain which types of nucleus? As we have discussed in the chemistry, that all proton pump inhibitors like omeprazole and lansoprazole, they having benzimidazole nucleus. So the correct option would be the B, because option is the pyrimidine. No, option B is the benzimidazole, benzthiazole, and the oxindole. So correct option for the omeprazole and lansoprazole, they contain the benzimidazole nucleus in their structure. So the correct option for question 73 is benzimidazole, option B. Next, move to 74. 74 question is a metabolite obtained from Aspergillus terus that can bind with tightly to HMG coenzyme A reductase enzyme. This friends we have discussed previously. HMG coenzyme reductase enzyme is responsible for mevalonic acid synthesis and is rate limiting step for the cholesterol synthesis that we have discussed previous question. And HMG coenzyme reductase enzyme. So the statin, all statin, they can inhibit like simvastatin, flavastatin, lovastatins. All are the statins. They are used as a they may use as a coenzyme reductase enzyme. But important thing is that we have to find out the metabolites that are obtained from Aspergillus terus. Aspergillus terus is from Aspergillus terus, which HMG coenzyme reductase enzyme we can say we can obtain. So our first option is the fluvastatin, second B option is the simvastatin, C is the lovastatin, and D is the somatostatin. So only the correct option would be the C, the lovastatin. Lovastatin which obtained from the microbes. Others are the synthetic only. All other simvastatin, lovastatin, simvastatin, fluvastatin, and all statins are synthetic in nature. Only the lovastatin that can obtain from microbes and Aspergillus terius. So the correct option would be the C for the 74. The lovastatin is obtained from Aspergillus terius and used as a HMG reductase, HMG coenzyme reductase drug. Next, move to question number 75. Cyclophosphamide is an anti-cancer drug. Act as, so we know the cyclophosphamide is the category of the anti-cancer drug. So question is asking its mode of action. First option is alkylating agent before metabolites. It's alkylating agents before metabolism. Means before metabolism it will be act as alkylating agents. Second option, the alkylating agents after metabolism. Means alkylating act as alkylating agent after metabolism. So option C is the phosphorylating agents after metabolism. Is phosphorylation takes place by the metabolism. Option D is the DNA intercalating agents. So we know the cyclophosphamide is the category of alkylating agents. And alkylating agents, what happen? The cyclophosphamide having a 6 membered cyclic rings in which oxygen, phosphorus, and nitrogen is there simultaneously. Okay, and the phosphorus also contain the oxygen by a coordinate bond and nitrogen with covalent bond, and nitrogen containing chloroethylene two molecule of chloroethylene, dichloroethylene groups, and the chloroethylene group that is removed after the metabolism of cyclophosphamide, and the ethylene group that is freed out, that would be act as a alkylating agents for DNA RNA. So the correct option would be the alkylating agents after the metabolism. So the correct option for 675 question is B. Alkylate cyclophosphamide is a alkylating agent used as anti-cancer drug after metabolism. So the correct option would be the B. After metabolism, it will be released out this that is CH2 group, means ethylene groups, and ethylene group act as a alkylating agents. Only this is takes place after the metabolism. So question number 76. Question is 76 is artemisinin contains the following groups in its structure. So artemisinin contains which types of ring? Artemisinin, we know artemisinin is anti-malarial drug, and anti-malarial drug artemisinin is obtained from the Artemisia annova. Artemisia annova, the flowering part, you can say herbal part of the Artemisia annova, leaves of Artemisia annova. So artemisinin is a very good important drug, and it is used in treatment of say Plasmodium falciparum, you can say malaria. So the resistant malaria that can be treated by the artemisinin, and it's a question asking that artemisinin contains which types of ring. So first option is endoperoxide, option B is exoperoxide, option C is epoxide, option D is acid anhydride. So as we know that artemisinin is obtained from the plant product, and it contains a peroxide linkage, oxygen, single bond oxygen, and this peroxide linkage that is present into the cyclic ring. For 3 cyclic rings are fused together in artemisinin, and 1 cyclic ring that is contained the 6-membered ring, and in this 6-membered ring there is peroxide link, oxygen, single bond oxygen that is obtained, that is present over there, and this peroxide bond that is present within the ring structure, and it is called as endoperoxide. So correct option for this artemisinin contain the endoperoxide. Option A would be the correct option for 676, and endoperoxide will be important for their activity, for antimalarial activity, because endoperoxide will be freed out, the peroxide part, you can say endoperoxide, when it will be freed out, and it will be peroxidase to the falciparum strain of the malaria. So that is the correct option for 76 is the A. Next, let's move the 76 or 77 question. Next question is indicate the HPLC detectors that is most sensitive to change in temperature. So what I mean, we have to find out the HPLC detector, means detector which is used in HPLC, which is most sensitive to change in pH, which that can be most sensitive when the change in pH. So change in temperature, change in temperature. So due to the change in temperature, which is the most sensitive HPLC detector? Option A is PDA detector. Option B is refractive index detector. Option C is electrochemical detector. Option D is fluorescence detector. So as we know that refractive index can also may affect due to the temperature only. So it depends on the temperature. Refractive index is of the it depends on the temperature only. So when the changes in temperature takes place, then refractive index in detector will be more sensitive. So it will be answer would be the correct option would be the B, refractive index detector, and HPLC detector would be the more sensitive for the change in temperature. Let us question number 78. 78 question is one of the following statement is not true. Means we have to find out which statement is not true. First option is accuracy express the correctness of the measurement. Means accuracy express the correctness of the measures. Yeah, this is okay. This is if drug is any result is accurate, then this shows the correctness of the measurement, that our measurement is the correct. Option B, precision represents reproducibility of the measures. The precision means reproducibility. If any results shows the good precision means good reproducibility. If any results is given by one experiment, and if the same result is given again, if we are performing again experiment, then if we got the same result, then we can say the reproducibility is the same, is the good, or you can say the precisions represent the second option is again correct. Accuracy represent the correctness, precision represent reproducibility of the measures. All these two options is the correct. Option C, high degree of the precision implies high degree of the accuracy also. What do you mean by this? If the precision is high, then you can say the accuracy is the high. No, this is no any relations. That wrong, you can say wrong answer also may shows any person if giving the incorrect answer, but the reproducibility is maybe the same. Means wrong answer may be repeated for same time for several times. Okay, same types of wrong result may be reproduced by different type several times. So this is not correct. Option so is the correct option for 78 question is the option C. That is D option. D option is the high degree of the accuracy implies the high degree of the precision. Yes, if any result shows the high degree of the accuracy, then it may be possible that with the accuracy it may shows the good the precision as well, but vice versa is not possible. Precision does not give the accuracy, but accuracy may give the precision. So correct option for the 78 question is option C. Next we are looking at question number 79. In thiazides, the following substance is essential for diuretic actions. So in the thiazides, thiazide diuretics basically they are diuretic drug and used in increase the urine volume and used in treatment of hypertension. So thiazides. So what is the correct substitution for thiazides? Option 1 is chloro substitution at position number 6. Option B is methyl substitution at position number 2. Option C is sulfonyl group at position 7. Option D is hydrophobic group at position number 3. So all, in the all these all substitutions are present in the thiazides, but which one is the more essential for diuretic activity? That we know that sulfonyl SO and SO2 and SO2 NO2 group, sulfonyl groups. Sulfonyl group SO2 NO2 is important for, you can say, diuretic action in the thiazides. So correct option would be the option C. And next, today's last question is question number 80. The streptomycin cannot be given orally for the treatment of tuberculosis. Means, what do you mean by the question? That streptomycin we cannot use orally for the treatment of tuberculosis, because streptomycin is the antibiotic and it's used as antibiotic also in the tuberculosis. And thing is that it's not given orally. Why? Answer is why it is not given. Question is the why it is not given orally, streptomycin. Because of option A is it get degraded in GIT, means it can be degraded, it can be destroyed by GIT. Option B, it can cause several diarrhea. Option B is that it cause the diarrhea. Option C, it may cause metallic taste in mouth. Metallic taste, it gives the metallic taste, that's why it is not using. And option C is it is not absorbed from the GIT. Option D is when given the orally, it may not be absorbed from the GIT. So what is the correct main reason they are not given orally? It is degraded by GIT, it is caused diarrhea, metallic taste, or not absorbed GIT. So correct option would be that streptomycin may not be able to absorb from the GIT. So absorption will not be there, oral absorption will not be there. So the streptomycin may be given some other route like IM route, especially, or IV route. So it's orally it's not given streptomycin, because of streptomycin will not be absorbed. Viability will not be there, very low viability when we are giving the orally. So streptomycin may not be given orally in the treatment of tuberculosis because of it is not absorbed from the GIT. So correct option would be the D. Dear students, in this one there is one another thing also, that degraded in the GIT is also a similar option, because similar answer, but correct option is given, that is not absorbed from GIT, because the streptomycin that is maybe degraded by the can say our GIT, gastrointestinal enzymes. So it is degraded by the enzymes that is present in GIT. That's why it is the correct. Another option would be the degradations, but the correct option, that is you can say taken by GPET, that is not absorbed from the GIT. Viability is very low, although it is also degraded by enzyme. So these two option is very close answers. Degraded by GIT as well as not absorbed GIT, but correct option, that is taken by the GPET, is the not absorbed from the GIT. So this is all about today's sessions. That is, we have discussed here today's 20 questions. I hope you might be understood, we have discussed whole types of, because the revision part, and we have discussed all options as well in detail. So I hope it would be very beneficial to you, because you are we are preparing for the competition exam, you are preparing for GPAT and other examinations as well. So your preparation should be more sound, more you can say very good. So that is my aim. So that's why I am taking these types of lecture videos in this all. So please, you can look my all videos, and that is in YouTube channel, and like it and promote them, and you got some very important knowledge from this. So I hope it would be beneficial to you all, because my aim is to increase your knowledge, your pharmacy strength, your pharmacy knowledge. We are discussing in the question in very depth level. So that's all for today. We will discuss some other part in next video. Thank you very much.